All right, thanks, Mike. So obviously, we talked about how this is a slow time of the year. Of course, everybody loves making, and football rules the roost. Everybody loves making their top 100 list. We mentioned it briefly. Right now, aren't they doing the countdown on NFL Network for their
They're doing
top
the
100?
countdown. They're only up to 80 on the countdown.
They're up to 80. Who's been in it so far for the Browns?
Schlesinger.
Schlesinger's the only one.
And we believe Denzel Ward will be in it, considering he was interviewed for part of it. And usually if you're interviewed, it means you're in the top 100. He just has not been announced yet.
Now, on Pete Prisco's an NFL writer for CBS, he made his top 100 and only had one Browns player, and that was Jared Verse at number 68. Did Pete Prisco drop the ball? Should Carson Schlesinger and or Denzel Ward be in the top 100?
Yeah, I mean, arguing about silly lists is silly.
Yeah.
Denzel Ward is absolutely a top 100 player.
Yeah, that's
He's
crazy.
probably a top 50 player.
Yeah, I don't understand how he's not.
He's probably going to be a Detroit Lion here within a couple of months.
Really? Wait, you think why?
Well, did you know what's going on there? Tyrion Arnold is released by them. They
did not
think they're in a Super Bowl window.
Oh yeah,
he's
that's
on.
right,
He's
right,
arrested.
Yeah,
on.
no,
Yeah,
there will be multiple suitors for Denzel
Yeah.
Ward. I'm not saying I know how the Browns are going to handle it.
Right,
But
right,
listen, the Browns traded Myles Garrett, guys. They've told us what they think is going
That's
on.
right.
They are shifting forward. The Browns open a new stadium three seasons from now, 4 years from now, however you want to do the math. They have no player under contract for that season outside the rookies that they've just drafted.
Yeah.
Right. This is a youth movement. 2 months before they traded Myles Garrett, Andrew Berry said we're probably going to be one of the youngest teams in the league.
Yeah.
Jared Verse is a great player. I think he's still got upside. I think he's going to be here for a long time. Putting him in the top 70 makes total sense to me. But Denzel Ward is absolutely a top 50 player in this league. There are guys that have cases for other words. Schlesinger, certainly.
Yeah.
Fannin.
Harold Fannon's not a top 100.
Nah, he's close. He's a top 100 talent. He's not done as a player.
I think he'll get on that list, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's great.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, Denzel Ward to me is the most glaring.
Yeah.
omission, even in something that you can argue a million.
Right. Denzel Ward's the best player on the Browns now, I think.
Yes.
no doubt.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Jared Verse is better, and you'd rather have Jared Verse because he's younger.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Jared Verse enough. I haven't seen him at least enough.
And
to
maybe
know,
whether Ward's here or not, maybe by November, Schlesinger and Fannin will have changed that. But
Yeah,
Denzel
yeah,
Ward is undoubtedly the best player in the Browns. Denzel Ward plays a premium position as a top 5 player in the game and has
Absolutely.
been for a long time.
Who's 90 to 100? Can you give us 90 to 100?
I will pull that up. The second part of this question that I wanted to get to is, when we do this next year, who joins this list? And you guys mentioned you want 90 to 100?
Yeah, please.
91. Stop refreshing. 91, Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
92, Tyler Linderbaum. 93,
he'd be
Nick
higher.
Emanwari. 94, Nick Bosa. And it says would be way higher, but he's coming off a torn ACL. 95, Kamari Lassiter. 96, Drake London. 97, Rayshawn Slater. 98, Namadi Metabuke. 99, Malik Neighbors. And 100, Colston Loveland.
Yeah, I can't put it, and I can't even put Schlesinger ahead of any of those guys because Schlesinger's only done it for 1 year.
Right. And Drake London probably could be easily much higher.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors is only that low because he got hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Schlesinger's awesome.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
And he'll
He'll be on it next year.
yeah.
I do
Well,
believe
he's
that.
on the NFL's list.
Yeah.
The one that the players pick.
And he should be.
Yeah.
And he should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a play. This is when I knew he was special. There was a play last year in training camp
Yeah.
where they were down in the red zone, and Flacco did what a veteran quarterback does and looked everybody off and came back to the left.
Yeah.
And the only guy in the stadium, other than the intended receiver, that knew it was coming that way was Schlesinger. And he went over and he missed it by a fingertip.
Yeah.
And about 3 days later, different quarterback, same exact play, and guess where the ball ended up? In the other end zone because Carson Sweat. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is the dog days of camp.
Yeah.
You know.
But that stood out.
Yeah, that's
You've seen enough of those camps, Zach, and,
Yes.
and enough mistakes in that camp.
Yes.
I wonder if I wonder. Did you ever get a chance to talk to Flacco about that? I wonder what his take would have been on that.
I didn't. He knows. Listen, he was very observant of what he saw and didn't see there. One of the things he said when he first got here is, "I know that I can't come back because this locker. I've helped ignite this locker room." He took himself out of it.
Yeah.
But they were all in on Deshaun Watson, and look where they are.
Yeah. Mike, who is the last tight end on the list? Can you find
Colston
that?
Loveland was
Colston
100.
Loveland at 100.
Oh, Colston Loveland.
Yeah, and listen, he had a really good year. He's a talented player.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really anything that says Colston Loveland's necessarily more gifted than Harold Fannin.
No. But I mean, Harold Fannin's probably he and Schlesinger could both be in the top 100 next
Absolutely.
year.
Schlesinger was 93 on the
NFL
NFL.
list.
Network.
Yeah,
Which
all right.
stands out.
Who's the last running back? I just wonder how close Quinshon is.
I mean, Quinshon didn't
me
really
look
have
right
that
now.
good a rookie year.
I
He
know.
was fine.
Numbers wise,
Yeah.
but
I think
I
if you-
think he's really good.
Yeah, I think he
I
had
think
a
he's
good
really good
rookie
too.
year.
Yeah.
And I think the question is good or great, which is his health, his own development. They couldn't
Right.
play him on passing downs last year because he missed all of training camp.
Yeah, right.
I think a lot of this gets like just the absurdity, the circus this constantly is. You had two of your better
Yeah.
players not. You signed Isaiah Bond on August 15th, and he was playing in Week 1. It's
Bonkers.
because of all the failing you did in the other
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah, no, that's
How?
true.
Unless I missed something, Jason,
Yeah.
and I'm looking again, Saquon at 47
Wow.
is the lowest running back.
There's
Wow.
no, well, then he's certainly not getting
He's
in the top
not
100.
and not on Pete Prisco's
Yeah.
list.
Pete Prisco does not like running backs, apparently. Not one running back in the
47.
back 53 of the top 100.
I'm looking again. I don't see
Yeah.
anyone.
No, like
Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs have to be up there.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Those
Even
are electric
McCaffrey's
players.
still up there.
He had Henry at 45.
Yeah.
There's not a way to sort by position. James Cook
yeah.
at 34, Taylor at 32.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. There's
Okay,
a lot-
no,
it's
I
all right.
misinterpreted what you said. I
Jahmyr
thought you were
Gibbs
saying
at
Saquon was the
21.
highest running back. That's
No,
my
no,
fault.
right. Yes, I wanted to know who was the
Yeah.
the one closest to the end of the list, and apparently he was at 48, which is weird. But so there's a lot of good, like more proven running backs.
He's
So
got Myles Garrett number 1 overall, by the way.
What's his top 10?
That's fair.
In order,
Yeah.
Miles, Stafford, Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, Burrow, Penei Sewell, Mahomes, Justin Jefferson, Puka, and Lamar.
So he's got 3 Rams in the top 10.
I don't agree with his list, but
I don't know if Stafford's number 2.
how do you put Stafford ahead of Josh Allen?
Yeah.
I love Stafford, but you can't put him ahead of Josh Allen.
I don't know.
He did just win MVP.
So,
I would have Josh Allen.
he
I would
basing
take
it-
Josh Allen.
but then if he's basing it solely on last year, then how's Burrow in the top 10? Because he was hurt for half the season.
It says ranking the top 100 players for the 2026 season. So this is just entering.
Oh,
now.
So
this
for
is what
this
he-
season. Yeah.
Would you bet on Stafford being better than Josh Allen this
No.
season? I wouldn't.
No.
I mean, I love. Don't get me wrong. Stafford
great.
gets
He's
left
great.
out of these great these conversations of the great quarterbacks, and he shouldn't be. But I don't know. I think Josh Allen's the best.
That was one of the great NFL trades of the last 10 years because both teams got exactly what they
Yeah.
wanted out of it. Both teams won. that
Jared
trade.
Goff's obviously Stafford's better than Jared Goff, but
course.
Jared
Right.
Goff's been a pretty good quarterback.
And the Rams are trying to recreate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Browns are too.
Yeah.
We're going to take this player, we're going to take these picks, and we're going to move forward. These as our building blocks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Goff's
right now
on
for
the
the Browns, Jared Verse and Carson Schlesinger are the building blocks. Fannon's right there
Yes.
too, but those are the guys.
Yeah.
Right? Schlesinger is on his rookie contract for 3 more years. And Verse can be extended in a year.
Yeah.
And they will be there. And all this dead money is going to start to come off the books.
Yep.
There's been no deader money in the history than Deshaun Watson's.
Yes.
Right? And then they're going to move forward.
When
And this is why trading Denzel Ward is a no-brainer. to
Right,
me.
right, right.
This is why Grant Delpit, you sit down and you either extend him, and
Right.
think that he has multiple good years left, or you move on.
Yeah.
I just don't know what value Denzel has because of the concussion history.
It's fair.
Yeah, but the truth is he plays. He's never missed like a ton
Like,
of games in a season.
If you're a team going to acquire, I mean, you're always trying to punch holes to bring down
Yeah,
value.
yeah.
How comfortable you'd acquire a guy who, and we've said this before, and thank God it hasn't been true, is one concussion away from retirement.
Yeah.
With as many as
But
he's
is
had.
he?
I mean,
I don't
look
buy
at
that.
look at how many he's had.
Yeah, but he hasn't retired yet. I mean, what's going to?
I mean, you're taking on a lot of money, but it's only for 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he's a premium position. He's a top player.
yeah. If I'm a good team,
He's absolutely a good teammate. Zero baggage,
Yeah.
zero maintenance.
Are you
anything.
giving up a 1 for Denzel?
No.
no, but I give up a 2 if I'm a good team.
Yeah, I think the Browns' asking price is going to be a 2, and then if
Yeah.
it's a 2 and a 5 for a 4-back or something like that,
Yeah.
is what it's going to be.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're going to get a top 75-ish pick for Denzel Ward.
a Mike Brown. Let's give up a second round.
Yeah, that now that's where it gets tricky. But yeah. I mean, all the teams that were theoretical Myles Garrett
Yeah.
contenders, the Bears,
Yeah,
the Lions, all of those, and the Lions especially now with the situation, all of those teams are Denzel Ward contenders.
Yeah.
And any team that has a number 1 corner right now that loses that player ultimately vaults.
yeah.
Any playoff contending team, because there are some bad teams that have a true number 1 corner.
What do you feel right now? How are you feeling? You've traded Myles Garrett. You've lost Jim Schwartz. How good do we think the Browns defense is going to be right now?
I think it's going to be good. I certainly, mostly for the Jim Schwartz reasons and just the reasons that it just seems regression is natural. I don't think it's going to be as good. And obviously, you've lost your weather-changing force.
And if you trade Denzel Ward, obviously it's not the level of loss of Myles Garrett.
It's a defense that has zero depth, really, at any position except arguably defensive tackle. But you have guys that have played. Alex Wright, proven NFL player. Malik Collins, if he comes back healthy, we saw how good he is. Sweatshirt, Quincy Williams, been a starter in this league for a long time.
Right.
Like, there's no depth anywhere. But Tyson Campbell, really good pickup last year, really good player. Like, Tyson Campbell's your number 2 corner. You have the makings of good defense. Now, I think he's going to be the number 1 corner.
Yeah.
So
who's your number 2 corner if they trade Denzel Ward?
Well, you have to start looking. I mean, you have Myles Harden as your slot guy, and you have a bunch of just journeymen at this point. But you're not trying to win games in 2026.
Did somebody sign Emerson, by the way?
Yeah, the Saints.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm curious. I think I think there's a sense from fans that, well, the Browns are going to be better because they're more talented this year, but
maybe they will. I don't see it. Maybe they will.
Yeah, I think the defense is going to take a step back.
I think the defense is good. I don't know how you can call it elite right now.
No, I mean,
you lost your most elite player.
Yeah.
Right.
And if Zach's right, and it's reasonable that they trade Denzel Ward, well, now you've lost your second best player.
The only place you have even theoretical depth is a safety, and that's counting on a second-round rookie.
Right.
To be good. And I think he is going to be good. But is he going to be good in September? Maybe. We're going to see. Like, Grant Delpit wants a new contract. Ronnie Hickman's playing for a new contract.
Right.
But you have a new coordinator. How are you going to employ these safeties?
Right. We don't even know if he's any good.
Right.
I mean, people have talk themselves into being excited about the coaching staff, but you have a head coach that's never been a head coach, and 2 coordinators or 3 coordinators who have never
and 6
been
of the first 9 games on the road with probably dreadful quarterback play.
Yeah, that's all fair. I get it. It's hard every year to just know your team's going to stink. You want to talk yourself into believing.
I told Earl I actually see hope. Like, not necessarily.
I'm optimistic about where the Browns are.
I
see hope in terms of the building of the roster.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I don't see hope in terms of success this year.
Correct. But like last year, there was nothing.
Right.
Last year, there was nothing.
But I think
going into last year, there was nothing. Like I didn't see. There was no direction. There was no nothing. They were. At least now you could see the runway.
Yeah. Well, you and I are considered, like, fans are always yelling at us for being negative, right?
I don't care.
And no, I bring that up because I agree with you, and I agree with Zach, that I think the roster build is in a lot of ways is trending in the right direction. But ultimately, we know that if they don't figure it out at quarterback, whether it turns out to be Shador or not, that the rest of it's not going to matter.
Right. I got another reminder for everybody. The quarterback room was in much better shape last June than it is this June.
But you had,
this Deshaun Watson thing is going nowhere like it's been going for 5 years, right? Yes. And Dylan Gabriel now is established the truth. He's not an NFL player.
Yeah.
Right.
So
last year you had a starting quarterback, Joe Flacco, who could get it out there and try to be serviceable and could give you what you run the offense the way you don't know if you have that. And this year should be about Shador doing that. I'm not writing Shador off. There is some hope there.
Yeah.
But there's no outstanding traits there. There's not a lot of help. There's improved help at wide receiver. There's a 21-year-old left tackle. There's a completely remade offense.
Right.
Offensive line, offense. Like that part it gives you hope. But like early in the season, the first 2 games in 123 degrees in Florida with a 21-year-old left tackle and an offense that's never been together before.
Right.
This is going, and by design, by the embracing of reality, this is much more likely to get worse than it gets better. This is a team that has no depth. This is a team that has some nice building blocks and is using this year to try to find more and get answers.
Yes.
And when is the last time an NFL team stayed healthy for?
Correct.
And the Browns, to your point, they have question marks outside of tight end. Outside of tight end 1, they have a question mark at every other position on offense.
Yeah.
Either because the guy's new on the team, hasn't been good before, or he's a rookie, or like in Judkins, I think it's a small question mark. It's coming back from the injury.
It's just doing it, right?
But I mean, with the rest of the guys, there's a lot of question marks.
How many rookies do you think make this team?
Well, they drafted 10, so you start around 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
You know,
What, how many? Would they have 12 or 13 last
they
year?
played almost the whole year with 14 on the active
14.
roster.
Did any of the undrafted guys make any noise?
It's too early for them.
Yeah.
They get few reps.
Right.
The defensive ends who might now, a spot is opened for them to make it.
Right.
They were repping, but mostly because they were just short on healthy defensive line.
Right.
Like, you have to get into camp to see.
Who's in terms of like, maybe thought, is there any, I can't remember now. Are there any undrafted free agents they signed that were thought to be guys who were going to be drafted?
Fano's brother is a defensive end. And he would have been drafted. He had some injury concerns.
Okay.
And the Browns had to outbid 2 or 3 other teams to get him.
Okay.
And then they have another defensive end, Vanderbilt kid, who's got a chance to make the team.
Okay.
You know, this is a team that wants defensive line depth and has invested in that. You know, the receivers probably not, but that's because you drafted 2.
Right,
And
yeah.
because Isaiah Bond is basically a rookie.
Yeah.
So we have to get in and see that. You know, there's a new special teams coordinator, there's a new head coach. So kind of the guys who take up those last roster spots.
Yeah.
Plus, you're trying to skew young because you need guys under contract.
Right.
So yeah, by November, this team is going to be 25 to 30 first and second year players.
I was going to say, realistically, I think,
That's half the team.
I was just going to say that. Realistically, I think half the 53.
And that's always been the plan. We've been talking about that for
Yeah.
a year. That's always been the plan.
Well, they have.
The Deshaun Watson experiment blew up, guys.
Yeah.
This is a rebuild. They traded Myles Garrett. This is a rebuild.
Yeah.
This team is looking to 27 and beyond.
Well, if the Brown, correct me if I'm wrong, if the Browns trade Denzel Ward, won't Deshaun Watson be the longest tenured Brown?
Grant Delpit.
So Deshaun
is the longest
third
tenured
right
Brown
now.
on offense. Of the 6 longest tenured guys from last season, 5 are gone. That's Miles, Batonio, Conklin, Teller. Only Denzel is back of the 6 most tenured from last year.
Oh, wow.
Njoku is the other one.
Right.
All of those guys are gone.
That's
And Denzel, this is year 9. He's only 29.
yeah.
You know, his 21st birthday was like the day the Browns drafted him.
Right.
And he's people are like he's so injury prone. He's had the concussion. He's never missed more than 4 games in a
Never.
year.
No.
Like,
And the last couple of years, he's barely missed any games.
that's right. And he never missed practice before this year either.
No. And like you said, great teammate, great guy. You never heard a bad word about him.
No, he's kind of like Nick Chubb, the absolute low maintenance star.
Yeah.
The total opposite of the guy that
If I'm
steps into the ranks.
if I'm a contender that needs a corner, I'm dying to get my hands on Denzel
That's right.
Ward.
That's right.
You know, who cares what the money is?
The
Like you
Browns
said,
are going to
it's
get
2 years.
it might not be a straight second round pick. It's certainly not going to be a first unless crazy circumstances happen.
Right.
But the Browns don't need to just do it to do it. Hey, they're going to get significant.
I'd set a high
Yeah.
price and sit and wait.
That's right.
They're in no rush.
They
What's the
have-
urgency to trade him?
They have 2 1s and 1 2 next year, right?
Yes.
And then
They have 11 picks total. They have 3 4th rounders, 2
Yeah.
5th rounders, and 2 1s.
yeah,
There's some swapping at the end, but I think it ends up
right.
with their.
But
their
getting
picks.
another 2 would be. I mean, to have 2 1s and 2 2s.
That's right. Listen, if you mess up this year and win 6 games,
Yeah.
then you have to trade both your first rounders and your 28 first rounder to get up and get a quarterback.
Yeah.
But then you do that, you still.
Well, and that's only if the teams ahead of you don't
Right.
need a quarterback.
But
Also.
then you go forward, then you have 2 2s
Yeah.
the following year, and
Right.
you have a young core of players.
Yeah.
Why would you keep 28 first and second year players? Because you hope in that group are
Right.
guys that are going to be on the team.
Yeah.
And and now Jared Verse he's headed to his 3rd year. He will
Mhm.
sign long term, right? You're already planning for Schlesinger, for Fannin.
Right.
And all the money will become available because all of this dead money is now going to go into these next 2 years. And the same thing when Denzel Ward gets traded, assuming he does.
Right.
His dead money will go in 26 and 27, and then it'll be off the books altogether. And they get
Mm.
back to outspending everybody and try to build a winner.
All
Just
right.
comes down to the quarterback.
We kind of moved on from Pete Prisco's list there, Mike. But
No, that was good.
It was a good,
No,
good
that was good.
conversation, I thought.
I enjoyed that a lot.